from the export of fish and fish products. One such modern technology that has these attributes is the recirculating aquaculture system, RAS, which is being employed by the center I'm commissioning today. Not only does this system offer minimal maintenance costs and relatively low to moderate energy consumption, it also guarantees the production of healthy and export-ready products. It will thus ensure the production of some 25 metric tons of tilapia, 25 metric tons of catfish, and 4 metric tons of prawns annually. This will ultimately mean an increase in fish production, a reduction in fish imports, and the enrichment of local capacity and technical know-how through the training of youth at the center. It is my expectation that the center will be well managed to achieve its purpose of training modern fish farmers and also produce fish in high quantities to generate sufficient income to sustain the center and augment total fish production in the country.
Mr. President, I wish to inform you that the ministry has prepared a new Ghana National Aquaculture Development Plan to be implemented between 2023 and 2027 for the sustainable development of the aquaculture subsector. The implementation of the plan is expected to improve aquaculture production from 89,376 metric tons in 2021 to 211,697 metric tons by the end of 2027.
That was also called Rashibidrum and named Rashibidrum Equasitan and Simbi Copimu a year, and some Supreme Court of my court Batana can a year as sin of Rashibidrum Jachiquis and which I say, Mupadi inform crater, Muneno, and a Rashibidra Frances, City and 70 city and Nipana Swada, Wabaha, Waye Juma, and Simbi Kra, Nabato Akahubi, Ama, and send your money to me, Ajatum, until Selma sign call Machi, the Supreme Court a patch and Mutinchi Muyi. Na fidi also mo de ye adwuma no omoba etipeye.
We are not clear on exactly what we want to do. But if the speaker is saying we should find a way to determine how we do we implement the order of the Supreme Court, because we are in uncharted waters, our standing orders does not provide how we go about it, and yet it's already been expunged. Then there's really no point in waiting for an agreed procedure as to how we go about implementing the order of the Supreme Court if we've already expunged the name. So that's why I seek your directive on the matter, Mr. Speaker.
I should be understanding, Mr. Speaker, to say that it's a novelty because this is the first time you are having such consequential direction. That's not to say that the Supreme Court have no own legislation. There is a number of rulings that we are guided with. But specific to an individual, how to get his name and all his record expunged is what I think that Parliament must be guided. And probably, Mr. Speaker, as you consider the new standing orders, to contemplate how to deal with such matters. I thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I think we should be guided by Article 2, 3, 4, and 5. And even 6. So, Mr. Speaker, let us go back and just expunge from the records anything associated with him. And that does not really even nullify the consequence of the action, but his presence is what the Supreme Court has ordered that we should remove.
If you recall, Mr. Speaker, several provisions state that the fact that the legality of a member is questioned does not nullify what has happened in this House with the presence of that member. And so far as I understand the decision of the Supreme Court, we are to move forward, not to move back. from the point when they gave the ruling, we expunge his name as a member of Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, so what is the import of this? Of course, it's also constitutional that if a person is elected to serve on any commission, which that person perhaps was not qualified to sit on, and it's found out that he was not qualified to sit on that commission or committee or any other body, that person, thereafter, after it becomes known that he was not qualified, will have to be thrown out. It will not affect any decision that he might have participated in. That is constitutional.
I think the Honorable Ablakwa has a case. Until we finally decide, the second part of what we are expected to do, the first part was the vacancy that has been created, that there is no controversy over. How do we expunge his name? And that's what I think you need to come in as Parliament. And clearly this morning you showed that there's really the need for us to think through this matter. I will advise and direct, in addition, the table office to still allow the name to appear until we finally decide on how to expunge the name. They said as a member of Parliament for Ascent North constituency. So we'll work on that.
Emrashe Bedwania wujine muma adeshe mo Tamale South. Onmunyamfo Haruna Idrisu akasa ediafa emanfo muntimi form Ghana card na so muntimi and form Ghana card no ankwanko register mo sim card asesi ye twa mo sim card mu no na wakasa kire mu sesi ano sa o hawo no eyade a hadofo pa amanfo relationship egu esanse omu entimi eni enkita ho na wakasa asem wi ewo mrahye bedwafie ebo abra onimonyamfo Esla owusu akufo so afo hwengita odi ensem so kasafa sim card registration no
Mr. Speaker, we try to deal with it. There are too many silos of data in Ghana. That is my view. Too many silos of data. Why are you taking biometric of a person for a SIM card, biometric for a national ID card, biometric for a national health insurance, biometric for SNIT? Too many silos of data. What this country needs is harmonized, and the Electoral Commission of Ghana is synchronization and harmonization of data. So the problem, as I listen to the Honorable Sam George, is that you don't even have a data sharing infrastructure nor a data sharing platform. So when you register your SIM, how do you get it verified on a National Identification Authority platform when you don't have an infrastructure for data sharing? We need that, and you can provide the leadership in that respect. This country needs a data infrastructure sharing platform, maybe coordinated by policy through you, but we don't have one. It's the same problem with the Electoral Commission. You want to use national ID card, yes, use it, but how do you relate it with your own identity numbers with that of National Identification Authority? I think that given the statistics, Mr. Speaker, this House must advise the Minister to work gingerly and cautiously that denying persons access to their mobile telephone can be fatal to social harmony, the stability of home, the institution of businesses, for academic work, for research and other things. And therefore, we are not saying that don't do the exercise. This House must make sure that the NIA is able to complete the exercise and complete it well. And stop this discrimination of come and pay and get it. If you cannot pay, you cannot get it. I mean, I use Tamale South, Mr. Speaker, as my constituency. Over 100,000 voters. I have less than 60,000 who have Ghana card. The last search was around 58,000. So there's a problem. So it is not her problem. It is Ministry of Finance is not giving enough money to National Identification Authority. Even what they came and promised here, they haven't honored it. They haven't honored. So let's deal with it. But Mr. Speaker, let's assure the minister that in principle. So Minister, we support SIM registration, but do it right. The consultation they are asking for is important. Don't block people's SIM, because the mobile telephone is a good source of social harmony and peace in our homes, and for sustenance of businesses, and for proper academic work. Don't just block it because somebody has no SIM, through no fault of that person. If NIA fails in getting a Ghana card for me, and you insist on it as a sole source, this is what you get. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yɛtɔ asɛm no so nyame yɛ adoma ɛdachena ɛyɛ nhyehyɛ ɔman Ghana nyina ayɛ sɛ yɛduanua na yɛabɔ ɔbɔadeɛ ho nneɔma ho ɛban na no nasoafoɔ hwɛ asoɛ hwɛ nsa ase na ɔbɔadeɛ nneɔma so ɔnabo Samuel Abu gyinapɔ ade nsɛm ato ɔman man anim sɛ obiara ɛna de hiadeɛ na ɛbrɛ no so a ɔmfa no ho nyim sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ a yɛbɛduanua na aboa ne yɛabɔ ɔbɔadeɛ nipa ɔde ama ɔman Ghana no yɛabɔ ho ban.
The President of the Republic will be at the University of Ghana to lead the nation by planting the commemorative tree at 8 a.m., which will signal the nationwide tree planting exercise. And again, Mr. Speaker, we're counting on the support of yourself and members of this august House. Mr. Speaker, just to conclude, the pundits tell us that from 1900 to date, we have lost about 80% of our forest cover. This calls for aggressive afforestation and reforestation. And Mr. Speaker, the Green Ghana Day is one of the efforts government and the country is making to restore the lost forest cover of our country, thereby contributing to the noble effort of the world at halting climate change.
If we want evidence of how well the trees are doing, we should look around Parliament. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I just want to appeal to the Minister not to use Parliament as a standard of measure to how well these trees are doing. Because, Mr. Speaker, Parliament has gardeners that are paid to keep the environment here green. And so, Mr. Speaker, it is different from the numerous trees we are told are planted outside of Parliament. And it will be, if you like, it is unacceptable to use Parliament as a standard to say that because trees planted in Parliament are doing well, then trees all over are doing well.
Mr. Speaker, I want to assure this House that the accounts of the Green Ghana Committee get audited each year. In 2021, the accounts were audited. In 2022, the accounts were audited. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, following the contributions that have been made in this House, I intend to publish the accounts of the Green Ghana Committee for 2023, perhaps 2021, 2022, 2023. Mr. Speaker, let me submit and do so forcefully in all modesty, particularly to my friend Tamale North, that those of us who are in charge of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Speaker, in all modesty, we are men and women of integrity. We will not proceed under the guise of planting trees to engage in corruption. It will never happen, and none of that is happening. So, Speaker, I have to say so and say so forcefully.
Ene Accra Circuit Court eko asetena ewo nana apia mensa yi nyina yenim ne se nam wano omukọ na asem ne ho asetena ona ye panyin kwankyerefo Emma Men's Gold Ghana Limited na opanyin kwaduba ye de abono no ni nyina eye mako aduosia baako 61 na saa asem nyina ene se wodi sika ho dwa wabra emra anase aban emma ne tumi se wondi saa sikadwa no ena afen so nkrofo dodo na ena waye omubukata ho nsembe ye nsembebre ewo omanyimu nanso yebeka ya afin pinu ni edunkunumu July bosom de etoso aduonu nsia court eko na asem no ho asetena emma wo kiremu se kwadubo a yede aboni nyina no nokura bi anim enunti ye mani bill ehun so asembe ye deja ewo omanyimu na ye ka say court asa akona asem no ho asetena biem na asem no omo enka nwie ye court say ane de omasa etu asem na kwa akohye July bosomeda etoso aduonu ensia ntie ho ene bekwa ko hu de court ebeka kire nam 1.
Yɛto ansɛm no so yɛkɔ owura alankyematen asoyɛ na sabre obono homodin akeka nneoma bom abontoa sɛ akonwa to ewo MPP amanyokuo num na ade hye na print ono so ade hye ne bi na ɔkyerɛ sɛ sabre ɛwɔ sɛ ɔkeka ne ho nti no ɔde nhyehyɛ bi aba ɛbɛboa kitwa bi enso a ɛno ɛne nhyehyɛ ɔyɛ a obenya sika na nto aba obo no atumi akoyie na ne nsu ade hu no atumi abam
me sa momoti asie se eye nyame adom na yekuo no ebie kwan se adehye ewo mu no a wo pese o mo pre akonwa no yenkwa bidibidi meka ho na manka no sa se meka no tra sa akwa meka se sa akonya no ba na meye campaign me pese Ghana for dodo no ano ebo me chidom na omudi manim na ekwan a nyame apaya to se memfa so no mwadi machi na matwa sa akwan no ti se mohwa ye video no ana meka se de be ya nipa dodo no abetimi abom chidom no me de bibi ebegu akwan mu a ye frɛ no kitwa bia ensa and as adopt a constituency se de be ya se obi epeso oboa me a na owo ba bia ode mmoa no be den ebefa se nyame yamadom na se opejame na me bedi party anim na me di Ghana mine so anim a I want to run a government by the people, for the people and of the people.
Ochna nyame ya adoma eye tree planting exercise no ebekoso na yebe home kase ebo ne so aba ye ba ye de ho komotwetwe nyina ebebrem